Elekid is a perfect example of a baby Pokemon done right. We're rating them all, and it's definitely usable in battle, with 95 speed and 60-ish in both attacks, but a sad 37 in defense. As long as you mind your matchups, it can be pretty good. It has a pretty awesome move pool actually, with Low Kick, Shockwave, Electro Ball, and some support with Thunder Wave and Light Screen. Its late evolution level holds it back though for sure. Having to stick with those stats until level 30 is pretty painful. 2.5 stars. It's so funny to me that so many of these baby Pokemon just aren't available in Johto at all, other than that one random odds egg and crystal, which I haven't counted yet so far, but since that's the only way you can get it before the post game, I think I'll just ignore Johto as a whole for its availability this time. And other than that, it's actually only available in Unova as a super early version exclusive and in the mid game in Alola, so that does give it a nice 4 stars. Electabuzz got 5 stars in concept for being based off of Oni, which are ogre-like creatures with some electrical powers, and more specifically the Japanese god of lightning, Raijin. And Elekid is just a baby Raijin that spins its arms to generate electricity and charge up, another easy 5 stars. And its design I think is just amazing. Electabuzz is arguably my favorite electric type, and Elekid just takes most of those good things from it and shrinks it down into a baby and gives it a hilarious power plug head. This is another one of those like Fanpea that I absolutely love, but I don't think are quite in that upper echelon. 4.5 stars. So that generates Elekid a shocking 4 stars overall.
Electabuzz is actually my favorite Gen 1 electric type. Let's see how it does as we rate them all. It's almost identical to Raichu stat-wise, and they obviously learn similar moves like T-Wave, T-Bolt, and Volt Switch, so we can more or less just copy and paste for battle prowess here. But I do think that Electabuzz does get some better coverage moves, so we'll get 4 stars for battle prowess. Now it is a version exclusive in the 2D games, but not available until after the 5th gym in Kanto. Technically you can get Elekid before the 2nd gym in Unova, but it doesn't evolve until level 30, and that's just about the level of the 4th gym, and then around the 6th trial in Alola, which averages out to 3 stars. It's then based pretty clearly on the Japanese Oni, a horned ogre that wears tiger skin and has lightning powers. This is literally just Raijin, and that's incredibly cool. 5 stars. And as I said at the start, it's my favorite Gen 1 electric type, but apparently you guys think it looks amazing too, riding the line between 4 and 5 stars. So I'm totally fine with giving it 4.5 stars for design. And as we're nearing the end of Gen 1, I do want to say that I am going to be taking a week or 2 break in between generations, but during that time I am going to be streaming some like nostalgia runs of Gen 2 just as a nice refresher course before we get there, giving Electabuzz the final score 4.125 stars. I'm seeing a common trend with these Gen 1 Sinnoh evolutions. We're rating them all, and have you ever noticed how weirdly similar a lot of their stat spreads are to their pre-evolutions? Like Rhyperior just gets a flat plus 10 to every stat, then Electivire's bottom 3 stats all stay exactly the same, but add some defense and a lot of physical attack. Fun fact, it actually has the highest physical attack for a non-Legend or Paradox electric type. But as we went over with Luxray, that's not really a very good thing. However, the difference here is that Electivire actually gets Thunder Punch along with Fire Punch, Earthquake, Brick Break, and that's just for Gen 4. Not to mention its 95 special attack and speed are still more than enough to run it as a mixed sweeper that comes with the typical utility of most electric types. Usually, they struggle to get 5 stars for some reason, but I think Electivire does get there for sure. 5 stars in battle prowess. In Sinnoh, you can't get Electabuzz until right before the 8th gym, but in Unova, you can get Elekid basically right away, but as a version exclusive, and in Alola, you can find them around early mid-game. But the Electrizer actually isn't as much of an issue as I thought it would be, but we do have to factor in the trade evolution penalty, so that does bring it down to a sad 2.5 stars in availability. Also, how weird is it that most of these cool new evolutions aren't even attainable in Diamond, Pearl, or the remakes? Anyway, its concept is incredibly cool, as was Electabuzz's. They're both pretty directly based off of Raijin, an Oni god of lightning, which, yeah, that's definitely exactly what these two are. Then you throw on some cryptid aspects as well as typical electricity motifs, and that's easily 5 stars. But for design, I will fully admit that I am biased against it, as Electabuzz is arguably my favorite electric type, so I'm going to pass the torch on this one.
Alright, I'm going to talk design. How's it going? Electivire is my favorite electric Pokemon. Just look at it. You know how some Pokemon look downgraded when they evolve? I'm looking at you, Weasel. Well, this isn't one of those Pokemon. They took the Oni inspiration from Electabuzz and heightened it in a great way. And all the motifs of electricity going on with it, come on. It still has its Tesla coils on its head. It has the electrical socket on the back, kind of like a callback to Elekid's plug-shaped head. And the yellow, fuzzy, spiky hair not only screams electricity, but again, it's a nice homage to the Namahage, the type of Oni that this design is most likely based off of. Chef's kiss. And don't forget about its 2 tails that look like stripped wire. You know, the type that you would put together to hotwire a car. Kinda cool, right? It's even more cooler when you remember that Electivire has the ability motor drive.
Alright, fair enough, I'm convinced. No, but for real, regardless of Electabuzz being my favorite, Electivire is awesome, and most of you clearly are on his side here. 5 stars. Which, oh no, that gives Electivire 4.375 stars overall, just shorted from the top 5.